right, so it looks like that Juan Soto has turned down some massive cash from the Nationals and the former Mets and Angels starting pitcher Matt Harvey. He has a second job as a drug dealer, not to mention new updates regarding this ongoing MLB lockout. This is crazy. Now, before we get into all that, guys, I'm going to need you to do a couple of things for me, please. First, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Next, go over, smash the red button, go subscribe, then go over, ring that bell so you know when exactly I'm uploading great baseball content here on the channel. Finally, if you want to get active, go down below in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, so topic number one is about Juan Soto, and it was reported on Thursday by ESPN's Enrique Rojas that, quote, the Washington Nationals reportedly offered a 13-year deal worth $350 million. Now, this was a contract extension. They offered him this before the MLB lockout began on December the 2nd, so pretty darn early into the offseason. But it seems the 23-year-old did not accept the Nationals' offer, so it's not like they couldn't get the deal through. I mean, my initial thought, frankly, is that Juan Soto, he's a dumbass for not accepting this offer. Let's be honest. Come on. I mean, if anybody out there thinks that, oh, this was a lowball offer by the Nationals just because of Soto's talent level, then you're just as dumb as Juan Soto. I'm sorry. I have to say it. It's the truth. Come on. How do you turn down $350 million? The guy's 23. He has done nothing in the league. Honestly, yeah, I know. Won a World Series. Great. Wonderful. Now, I just want to clarify, the reason why I say that, he's stupid for basically declining this once-in-a-lifetime offer is because the pure dollar amount of this deal means that Soto is being valued more than guys like Francisco Lindor, who signed a 14-year deal worth $341 million, Fernando Tatis, who signed a 14-year deal worth $340 million, and Miguel Cabrera, who signed an 8-year deal worth $248 million back in 2014. Today, right now, Juan Soto is not as valuable as any one of those three guys I just mentioned. Think about it. He has no credentials. He's only made one All-Star team and won one batting title. I mean, Miguel Cabrera had more accolades in his first, 4 years with the Marlins than Juan Soto has in his first 4 years. Miguel Cabrera won a World Series like Juan Soto did, but again, he went to 4 All-Star games with the Marlins. Did he get a contract extension? No! So, I mean, I just think he's just plain stupid for not accepting this offer being Soto. And I will say this one thing. The only reason why he did not accept this offer is because his agent, the infamous Scott Boras, was chirping in his ear. Because I bet you my life that if Juan Soto did not have Scott Boras chirping in his ear, he would have signed the contract through the telephone if he could. Trust me. What a stupid move by Soto. Now for topic number 2, it looks like we have some sad and shocking news on the Matt Harvey front. Now first, let's take a look at what SNY tweeted out on Tuesday. They said this in regards to what former Mets manager Terry Collins said about Matt Harvey and suicide. They quote Collins as saying, "One time he talked about, I should just kill myself. You try to deal with it the best you can. You certainly try to get him help, get him some assistance," end quote. And I do want to show you some actual clips from the interview that Collins did with SNY, I do believe, that same day. So here it is right here.
First, I just want to ask you, Terry, you hear this news about Matt Harvey and what he's going through and all that's come out now with that testimony. How do you feel when you hear that stuff?
When I first heard it today, I got a call, and first I was very disappointed, but not shocked. There was a lot of speculation when Matt was in New York that he was on something. It was out, there was issues, but we did what we thought we had to do to try to get him some help, and obviously, Matt's got to be accountable for his actions.
How were you balancing that out while trying to get him help, but also trying to win some ball games?
In 15, you remember, that's when he came into my office. He said, "I'm done with that. I want to pitch." And you saw the results. He pitched brilliantly. And now, 2 years later, he lost 25 or 30 pounds. He wasn't pitching very good. And I called him in and I said, what happened to that guy? I want that guy that pitched in 2015, that 245-pound beast that was out there. And certainly, there's no question his off-the-field stuff hurt him a lot, to become a star and to try to be a star in New York, took him down.
So as you can see, a lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes, during 2014-15 with Matt Harvey and the Mets. I just want to say this before I get into the Matt Harvey and Tyler Skaggs actual court case itself. It is truly sad news to hear that Matt Harvey was contemplating these type of actions. And I have to commend the Mets for taking every possible step to avoid that unfortunate incident from occurring at the hands of Matt Harvey himself. So I'm glad the Mets jumped the gun on the situation at the time, which is good news to hear, and I'm glad that Terry Collins took it seriously. But when it comes to the Skaggs case, news broke that yesterday, starting pitcher Matt Harvey did admit to providing drugs to Tyler Skaggs. Now, this is an article from Bleacher Report, and it says, quote, Matt Harvey, who was teammates with former Los Angeles Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs in 2019, provided testimony Tuesday for the U.S. vs. Eric K. case. ESPN's TJ Quinn reported Harvey said he used drugs in the dugout and team clubhouse. Harvey said he previously used cocaine and oxycodone and added players frequently used oxycodone and Tylenol. Prosecutors in the case are attempting to argue that Kay, who is the former Angels communications director, provided the pitcher with the drugs in his system when he died in 2019. Harvey said that he provided Skaggs with Percocet, which is the same thing as oxycodone, in the clubhouse at times, but that the pitcher otherwise received drugs from Kay, which is of course the Angels communications director. Now look, I don't care if Matt Harvey provided Tyler Skaggs with the drugs 5 times, 3 times, or 1 time. If he did it once, he's a drug dealer. I don't know what you want me to say. He's a drug dealer. You want to go call him a drug provider, whatever. To me, he's a drug dealer. You give him the drugs, here you go, take them. That's what he did. He's involved. And basically, in my mind, he's guilty because he admitted it, but I guess they're, granting him amnesty. That's interesting, but, he's a drug dealer. That's what it is. And any way you slice it or dice this thing, it looks bad for Harvey, and he's gonna get suspended. If, of course, he signs with a major league team because he's a free agent right now. So that's interesting. I would love to know what happens because I've never really heard of a situation to where a player who's a free agent got caught up in a court case and he is presented with the possibility of actually receiving a suspension by MLB. Of course, that would no doubt happen if he was actually signed with the Angels right now, but since he's a free agent, what can the MLB do? Obviously nothing because of the lockout, but once the lockout is over, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? I would love to know that answer. Personally, I think Harvey should call it quits. I think he's done, so that's unfortunate, but that's reality for Matt Harvey. And the final thing on the list is that we have an update about this lockout itself, and it comes from our friend Bob Nightingale. No, not Jeff Passan, not that friend, our other friend, Bob Nightingale, who I frankly don't really trust, but I guess in this case I will have to. And it says, quote, the MLB and MLBPA negotiating session is over after just 15 minutes. Now that is freaking pathetic. I cannot stand these 15-minute talks. A sitcom lasts longer than that. Seriously, they should at least, minimum, be in a room together for an hour a day. And that is pathetic as well, if they're meeting just for an hour. 15 minutes? Bull. Anyways, next tweet reads, the MLBPA requested an increase from $100 million to $115 million in its pre-arbitration bonus pool in the latest proposal, in exchange for the arbitration eligibility class to include 80% of its players with 2 years of service instead of 100%. MLB called it a non-starter. Okay, that's interesting. I feel like there's negotiations. The union is trying to give and take a little bit, but not nearly enough. I think both sides are at fault, frankly, at this point. I mean, I will say, I am siding with the owners traditionally, but at this point, I'm so pissed that I don't even care. Both sides are wrong. Now, the last tweet, he says this, spring training games originally were scheduled to start February 26, which of course has become all but impossible as the MLB lockout enters day 78. 78 days of this BS. 78 days of absolutely, unequivocally nothing. Crickets from both sides. Honestly, swear to God, the United States and North Korea have better communication than the MLB and the MLBPA. Honestly, they honestly do. So that's all I really have. I am beyond pissed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts. I'm done.